Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives.
It's time for another conversation. Welcome to Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, but with other people. Now, I have with me Scott Carley. He's a workshop facilitator, keynote speaker, and the change energizer. But what we're going to be talking about, I know a lot of times when people think credit score, they think money. But that's not what we're going to be talking about this time around. We're going to be talking about a concept that's called a trust credit score, what it is, and of course, its implications on our relationship. So tell us about that, Scott. What is a trust credit score? What is it?
Hey, Noreen, it's great to be with you today. Trust credit score is a lot like your financial credit score. And people do business with people they have a high level of trust with. And if you have earned the trust with somebody, they do business with you. But if you have some hits on your trust credit score, then people, they start moving a lot slower about how they're going to do business with you. And so it's really interesting. The concept comes from a book from Stephen Covey called The Speed of Trust. Most of us, when we think of, do I trust you? It's a gut feeling. We have this gut feeling. I feel something. I trust them or I don't trust them. And what Covey did was he put a way to measure that. So trust comes from 4 areas. And the first one is, well, I'll just tell you all 4: integrity, intentions, capabilities, and results.
Okay.
So let me just briefly go through those. Integrity. Integrity, if you really look it up, what it means is that what you say matches how you act. And people who have integrity, you know that whatever they say, whatever comes out of their mouth is gonna be the same behavior you're gonna get. So if somebody tells you, man, I'll be there at 7:00, you can be pretty aware they're gonna be there at 7:00. But if somebody tells you, hey, I'll be there at 7:00, and 7:00 comes and goes, and 7:30 comes and goes, and then they show up at 7:40, then you begin to not trust them as high. So the next time they say, I'll be there at 7:00, their integrity trust score isn't a 10, it's a 7. So that's integrity. Intent is motive. Sometimes you've looked at somebody and say, I wonder what their real motive is here. That is part of the trust credit score. And again, our trust is measured by our intentions. Are our intentions genuine? Are our intentions self-serving or client-serving? What does this person, what is their intention? Why do they want to talk to me? Why do they want to get to know me? How come they're giving me all this nice stuff? What are their intentions? Are they genuine or are they taking advantage of me? So if, somebody just showers me with praises and gifts and just says all these things about me because now they want to ask a favor of me and they want to leverage all that, then when I measure their intentions on my trust, it's not a 10, it's a 7, or could be even lower, because now I know what their motive was. I know what their intention was. The third one is capabilities. If I hire a plumber to come out and to put in a new sink and put in new faucets, and it's maybe a luxury situation, and they come in and they tell me, oh yeah, we do that all the time, piece of cake, I got that handled. And then they come in and they number one, they don't put some kind of booty on their shoe when they walk into my nice clean house. then I'm going, And then when they get under the sink and they knock around and beat around, and maybe they remember to turn the water off, and maybe they don't, and then they try to start removing that sink, and it becomes very obvious that they don't have the capabilities they told me they did have. Maybe they're a beginning plumber. Maybe they've never handled a sink like that. So now my trust level with them, man, it goes to a 3 instead of a 10, because they just don't have the capabilities. It includes that they lied to me or they misled me. And it also just means that, in the plumbers industry, there's apprentice plumbing, journeyman plumbers, and master plumbers. So somebody who is an apprentice or a journeyman is trying to come off as a master, and they're just not. They can't go to downtown and pull a permit to do something. That they don't have the capabilities. So that's the third area of trust. And then the fourth area of trust is results. And results are that it's very close to capabilities, but somebody who promises one thing but then can't deliver the results. I want somebody who can deliver the results and do what they promise that they can do. So when a process or a person or a situation said that it was going to increase my sales by 75%, but then when we look at it, they only increased my sales 10%, that means they didn't bring the results that they promised. So my trust credit score now is lower. I get out some spray, and I spray some kind of cleanser on my sink, and I rub it, and I spray hot water on it, and I look, and the stain is still there. Well, it didn't give me the results that it promised that it would give me. So unconsciously, we measure all those things all the time. And part of what Stephen Covey said in his book is that when trust is high, the speed of business is fast. But when trust is low, the speed of business is very slow. Hi, my name is Scott Carley, and I'm the Change Energizer. I love helping people push their big, scary dreams across the finish line and to recover their trust credit score. I'm here with Noreen Daly, and we're on the Making It Last podcast. We will be right back after this break, where we will get a word from our partners.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives.
You can't live your best life without a healthy immune system. Boost your immune system the delicious way with Zappy's organic juices and punches. Made from local produce with zero added sugar, our juices cleanse and revitalize your body as they boost your natural immunity. Try our delicious flavors: Beat It, Berry Bomb, Get Fresh, Ton Up, and Island Splash. Find us on Instagram at Zappy's Organics, or call or send a WhatsApp message at 1-876-779-8910 to order today. That's 1-876-779-8910. Zappy's Organic Juices and Punches. Live your best life today.
Is that true?
Langdo Language Institute was created to meet your language and communication needs. All of our packages were created just for you. We are passionate about language and dedicated to your success. We offer the CSEC English program, the Study Body program, the Get Ahead with English program, and the Business Communication program. Contact us at 767-285-0938 or email us at landolanguage@gmail.com. Because the real question is, how can we help you?
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives.
Welcome back to Making It Last podcast. I'm Scott Carley, the Change Energizer. Let's continue my conversation on improving your trust credit score.
Is it that for you to get a high trust credit score, you must have all 4, or is it okay to have just 2, or is it okay to have just even 3 of the 4? Is it that you must have all 4?
That's a great question. So here's what happens. We measure each one of those. So, we look at integrity. Okay, well, how did I measure them on integrity? So, what they say and what they do. So let's say that, they got here pretty close to 7:00. And so maybe I give them a 9. And so, that's one thing. But then intentions, what were their intentions? Oh, they intended to be here, but they got stuck in traffic. And so with your intentions, I give them a 10. Your intentions were to be here. You did all the right things, but there was a car wreck. You got stuck in traffic. I can't hold you at fault for that. And then on capabilities, you got a car that runs, and it had gas in it, and so you're still late. So I'm gonna give you an 8 on that one. I don't in that area you had a car, it should have worked. And then on results, well, you're here pretty close, and so I'm gonna score you at maybe an 8 also. Now what I do when I teach this is you write down 9, 7, 8, 8,
Okay.
add those together, divide by 4, and now you have the average of the entire trust credit score. So sometimes we can do that with, let's say we have an employee that integrity is it's about a 6. But their intentions are, maybe an 8. They got a good intentions. Their capabilities might be maybe a 6, or maybe let's just say it's a 9. It's a 9. They need to go to school and get some more training, but it's a 9. The results are they're a 6 or a 7. So then I add all those up. Now I really like the person. I really like this lady, like this guy. I like them. They've been with the company for a while. They're coming in for a raise. They want a raise. And so now I measure all 4, divide by 4, and I come up with, I don't know what the math is, but let's just say that it is a 7 or maybe a 6.5. Then I ask myself, is somebody in my company with a 6.5 trust credit score, do they deserve a raise? And I look at my board of advisors and they say, no, we only give raises to people who score 7.5 or 8. Maybe 8 is our standard. If they don't measure an 8, they don't get a raise. That's how you use the trust credit score.
You've applied it to a workplace context. How then would you apply that to your personal relationships, or do you apply it to your personal relationships?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm thinking about somebody right now who is failing miserably in intentions, and the intentions in the relationship they're trying to build with me is pretty low. And it's just somebody who wants me to go and do things with them, but the intentions, there are ulterior motives. And so I'm measuring that. And here's what's cool, Doreen. This is what I love about it, is it gives me a way to measure what's going on in a situation without making it personal. Here's what Covey says, and I love this phrase. He says, you can't talk your way out of a problem that you have behaved yourself into, but you can behave yourself out of a problem, and often quicker than you think. So the trust credit score, just like your financial credit score, it's not based on what you say, it's based on your actions and what you do. And trust, just like with your finances, is lost in buckets and earned in drops.
Again, say that again.
Yeah. Trust is lost in buckets. So let's say you break my trust. Let's say I catch you in a lie. Dude, let's say that you took something from me and I didn't give you permission to borrow it. And I'm looking around and it's gone. And I have to ask you about it. Well, my trust in you, you just lost buckets of it. And it's gone. And for you to earn that trust back, you're going to have to do 10 or 20 things to make up for that one thing that you lost. So in finances, if you file a bankruptcy, yikes, takes you 7 years before that goes off of your credit score. So trust credit score, learning how to, in some of the keynotes and the trainings that I do, I talk about how that when you have lost trust, how to improve it, how to repair it. There's a lady, I don't know if you've ever heard of her before, named Martha Stewart. Have you ever heard of Martha Stewart?
Yes.
Yeah, Martha Stewart, she had a hiccup, and she was busted for insider trading. And she went to prison for a year. Pretty bad. When she got out of prison, she had to wear an ankle bracelet. She really ruined her trust credit score. She ruined her financial credit score. She ruined her trust credit score with the business world, as far as producing her products and who would loan her money, who would distribute her products. She lost trust with us as the consumers of what she did. But Martha, when she got out of prison, went to work. And she went to work intentionally rebuilding her trust credit score with the manufacturers, the distributors, and us as the consumers. She won it back. And now I even trust her more because she showed to me that she owned what she did and she determined to rebuild my trust. To me, that's
nice. As we're wrapping up though, how do repair or try to regain, the trust of or increase their trust credit score, so to speak? How do they do that?
Behaviors, just communicating with people, and not just talking, but communicating and doing things with people in the area where you broke trust. So let's say I didn't show up on time, and I have a tendency to be late all the time. Going forward, I show up 5 minutes early, and whatever I have to do to get there 5 minutes early for the next several months, I show that I'm going to be there early and I'm going to be on time. And then, if maybe you lied about somebody, you become extremely transparent with them, and you tell them what's going on. Here's where I'm at. Here's what's happening. And here's stuff, records to check what I said. And so you just become very transparent. There are in Covey's book, he gives 13 of these, 13 ways to restore your credit with people, your trust with people. Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah, it is, and it sounds like a book that I definitely need to find and read it. Thank you so much for sharing, Scott. It was an absolute pleasure. This was Making It Last podcast, where it's all about helping us to have better relationships, not just with ourselves, with other people. I'm Noreen Daly. Until next time.
Making it last is all I care to do. You loving me, I loving you. Mothers and fathers, husbands and wives.